Joey.
Yes.
This is when the starts to get real, okay? So you have spent 41 issues building this epic DeLorean Time Machine model by Eaglemoss, and you have done an outstanding job. Anybody out there who's lucky enough to be able to do a project like this with their son and or daughter and or wife and or family member and or relative and or neighbor, whatever. Everybody's got a different situation. You know, good for you. All right, so we're gonna do this a little bit different for the next 5 issues because I want these parts to be a surprise for you. And they're a surprise for everyone, but I want them to be a surprise for you too. And they're really cool because they're all the Time Machine parts.
I can't wait.
As much fun as this has been, you know, really the whole purpose of this thing is to build a time machine.
Yeah.
But this is like, this has been crazy. Crazy cool. Here's the big reveal. The first thing you're going to be building is the
Hey Doc, we better back up. We don't have enough road to get up to 88.
Roads? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
The radio. The radio with the heat sink on top. And what comes next is even cooler. So, I'm going to hand you the parts, okay? So bend HJ12 around and insert the 2 ends through the holes in 42H. And you're like, I don't know what that means. And it's okay because I'm going to hand you the parts. The first part is a very cool part. Okay? So that is the heatsink that goes on top of the radio in the time machine, which is...
And I need that little wire.
Yeah, so you need the little wire. Okay?
I bet it is.
Yeah, it just threw me because it looks yellow in the instructions, but I know that yellow means this part. It doesn't mean the part is yellow, okay? Okay, so step 1, bend 42J around and insert the 2 ends through the holes in 42H. So you bend the wire and shove it up through the heatsink from the bottom. And there was a little bit of flashing in these holes, so one of them was kind of tight, the other one was super easy. But a tiny little needle cleared that right up. And now everything's fine. Okay, are you ready for part number 2?
Yep.
Alright, so you pulled those all the way up through. You got it? Yeah, looks perfect. Now I got a question for you. What does the heatsink sit on top of inside the time machine?
The radio?
The radio! You win a prize, and the prize is?
The radio.
The radio. This is pretty amazing.
So detailed.
So what you want to do now, Joey, my boy, is secure 42H with an A-piece screw from the bottom.
Can you hold that, please?
Sure. My pleasure. Don't forget the rule. Just don't stab me.
This won't go into the plastic.
Okay. But remember that it is plastic, so you don't want to over tighten. That is really amazing. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got the radio, we got the heat sink. Cool, because you can't turn the station without
The dial.
the dial. They're so tiny, I don't even know if I can show them to you. Can you see that? I don't know. These are the radio knobs. Why don't we just put them in?
So we don't lose them.
42F and 42F. I think that would suggest that they are the same. Okay? This is awesome. We've got a radio. Okay, so Joey, I got a question for you. What does the heatsink sit on? Radio, correct? So, but what does the radio sit on? You're smiling. What is it?
The time circuits.
The time circuits.
This readout tells you where you're going, this one tells you where you are, this one tells you where you were.
You got it right, my boy. what we have here is the time circuits enclosure, and very, very accurate 1/8 scale representation of the time circuit enclosure. So what you want to do is take that and you want to put the radio on top, turn the assembly over and secure the two parts with 2 AP screws, one on either side behind those columns. You are securing the time circuit enclosure to the radio, which is secured to the heatsink. So, step 8, insert the bottom of the, I don't want to tell you, I just want to show you. Are you ready for this? I'm going to blow your mind.
My mind has already been blown.
The compass.
No way.
The 1/8 scale air guide DeLorean Time Machine compass. Okay, cool. Let's see. Insert the bottom of the compass into the hole in the time circuit enclosure, 42A, next to 42G, which is the radio. And then you want to secure it with an AP screw. So turn that over so that they can see what you're doing. You need me to hold it in place
Just
while you...
please.
Okay. Alright. It's got the tiny little air guide logo and everything. Looks great. Very impressive.
It is very impressive.
Alright. See? When I sold my DeLorean Time Machine replica, you were so upset, but little did you know that a few years later, you'd have your own, and you'd be building it. Impressive. Alright. So cool. You got the time circuit enclosure, you got the radio, the heatsink, and the air guide compass. Unbelievable. So what we have here is a little electronics board, which is very exciting. More electronics, okay? And you can see it's basically got a whole bunch of tiny little LEDs on there. This is very exciting.
Yep.
So then you need to take this part, okay, the LED electronics board, and you're going to connect it with, are you ready? Dun 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 dun! The time circuit faceplates. So awesome. With the tiny little, look, I'm holding it up to the lights, and you got October 26, 1985. And I need my glasses to read the rest, but it's all there and it's awesome. And what you want to do is connect those two by doing step 10. Pass the tab on the reverse of 42D through the slot in the LED board, which is 421.
Does it snap in?
Did it snap in? It didn't? Then it probably doesn't. Okay? I think you're good. Step 11, fit the time display assembly into the space in 42A. And then you're gonna wanna sink what looks like AP screw up through the bottom behind the time circuit display and into the top. You got it?
Yep.
It looks like it's happening. It's happening. Okay?
happened.
It happened.
That looks amazing.
Isn't that sick? Oh, I love it. This model just got real. Whoa, take it easy. You're gonna send us back to 1885 by mistake. Okay, I'll tell you what, the next part is equally cool. The bottom of the time circuits, which you must connect with the TRW keypad.
Say you want to see the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Here's the red letter date in the history of science.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep.
November 5th, 1955. Yes, of course.
Why?
Because that's the day he invented time travel.
That's exactly right. That's when Doc Brown invented time travel. So take this TRW keypad, which is an excellent 1/8 scale representation of the real thing. And you're gonna connect it to the bottom of the time circuits using, guess what? That's right,
AP.
an AP screw. Okay. So now what you want are 2 BP screws, and you're gonna connect that to the bottom of the time circuits. It's tons of fun. All right, BP screw. Now you're gonna assemble that to that. so that you have a complete time circuits assembly. It's important that you not pinch these wires, okay? You
Yeah.
want the wires to
Yeah.
go through the hole. But it looks like this pretty much snaps into place, okay? And then fire those BP screws in there. Okay, nice and tight. Not too tight, not too loose. That seems pretty good. And this one, another BP screw, fire it in there. Cool, cool. Okay, and that is one hell of a time circuits assembly.
Yeah.
So amazing. Okay, right on. Very cool. Okay, let's see, what's next? It's gotta be cool. Pass the cable, okay, the wire, from down through the indicated hole. That's the square hole right there. You got it. Okay. So you want to pass that hole, and this isn't connected yet, so you can pull that through, and then the time circuits sit right where they're supposed to. Look how awesome. And I'm certain that the next step is to secure it. Let's find out. Lower the completed assembly into place like you've done, and step 17 is secure the two pieces together with two BP screws. Okay? So here's one BP screw. And let me hold that for you. I can feel it getting tighter. Okay. Alright, and then you need one more BP screw, and then fire that one in there.
So many screws.
Better screws than glue.
Yeah.
This way you get to actually build something, you know? It's pretty great. Okay. Got that caught in there. Alright, so now we have the finished time circuits assembly with the keypad and the dates and the LED board inside and the electronics and the plug and everything. I mean, this thing is just coming together so awesome. Alright, so it clicks in there and you can begin to see this thing take shape. Alright.
The cable comes out from the bottom and goes with all the other black cables.
Yeah, what a coincidence, right? That the cable feeds into the same general area that all the other cables feed into. So no doubt there's going to be some kind of a assembly there for all those plugs. Very excited. That's going to be the source of the power. And this is what your finished assembly should look like, which is exactly like yours, except for yours is in real life and in color. Right on. And dude, with that, 42 is history. Still future for most of you, but for you and I,
It's in the past.
in the past. Right on, dude.